Hello, my name is Krill and today I will be teaching you how to crochet. Now keep in mind this is coming from an intermediate crocheter and fiber artist, so my advice might not be as useful as like an expert or professional, but I still feel like I have enough knowledge to get you through the basics. Now first things first, you're going to need, of course, yarn and a hook. Now is a good time to talk about yarn weight and hook size and how to figure that out. So I actually grabbed a different yarn to show this because I don't have the label for this one. This one is just going to be the example for the crocheting. So this, on the label, it has a lot of important information. It tells it if it's machine washable, its drying instructions, the iron ability, and the dry clean ability of it. So this is for knitting. It's basically just telling you the size of needles that you need to use for knitting, which is in this case 8 in the UK, US 6 4mm hooks. And this is the crochet hook size, which is 4mm and gauge 6 in US terms. Okay. Now, this information is also important. It has the color, which is aster, and the dye lot. Now, the dye lot is very important because if you want a yarn that is similar to what your project is, then you have to find a similar or the same yarn dye lot in order to fully get a close color match, because sometimes with the dyes it can get like a little bit off. Next, we need to talk about hook size. So hook size can be very useful if you are trying to make a project bigger or smaller, even with like the same weight of yarn. And now I'm just realizing I forgot to talk about different types of yarn weights. Okay, so there's light, fingering, worsted, heavy, chunky, and bulky. And each of them are, you know, yeah. The different types of hook sizes can really depend based off of how big or small you want your project to be, or how big or small your yarn weight is. So like for this one, this is a 2.5, I believe, and I would use this for maybe very small threads, probably even like embroidery thread, because there are some fiber artists out there that use embroidery thread to create amigurumi. And then my biggest hook size is this one, which is a 7mm, and this I would use for like very chunky or projects that I want a lot of holes in. So the benefits of going up in a hook size when so this one is the 4mm. If I went up in a hook size with this, then it would make the project a little bit bigger, but it would also add a little bit more holes to the project. This would be a good idea for maybe like a summer cardigan, or like a spring cardigan, I guess, where you want it to be breathable, but you also want it to be kind of warm and covering. And the reason why you would go down in a hook size is because of if you want something smaller, more compact, and less holes. This is really good for amigurumi, which is just like a term for like stuffed animals and cute little projects with little eyes and faces. There's also ways to make amigurumi less holy. Jesus, take the wheel, take it from my hands. Sorry, and we will go over that. Now for demonstrating how to do different stitches, I'm going to be using this acrylic yarn. It's multicolored. I started with multicolor because I thought it was a lot easier to differentiate the colors and stitches because of the colors. So that's what I'll be doing today. I would recommend a light colored yarn, because then the stitches are even more defined. I do not recommend starting with black yarn, but if that's the only thing you have, you might as well get to practicing. But once again, I don't recommend it. So first things first is you want to make a slip stitch. So I start by putting my fingers like this and then wrapping an X of yarn around it. Then I see this back string, I grab it with my hook or finger and pull tight. That's how you make a slip stitch. Now this is the start of pretty much every single crochet project that you can think of, so I definitely recommend using this for anything. But there's also many other ways to make a slip stitch, and also it's really easy to pull apart. All you have to do is just pull both ends and then it comes apart. Make a slip stitch again. So wrap it around your fingers in an X pattern. Find the second string behind your fingers and pull through. Then you can pull it tight. Also, there's multiple ways to hold the hook, but the main way are like pencil, where you kind of hold it like this, and knife, where you hold it like this. I hold it knife style, but some people prefer the pencil method. And so next we want to find our working yarn, which is the yarn that's connected to the rest of the skein. Not this tail end that cuts off, because this we will run out of yarn really fast. So how to make a chain. So you take your yarn hook, you put it under your yarn, you grab onto it like this, and then you pull through. And that's a chain. Let's do that again. See how you can make that V shape? That's a chain. So pull your yarn over the hook, pull it through. You want to make sure that your chain isn't too tight, because if it is, then it is going to make it really difficult to get the first row in after the chain. And this is a chain. So in American terms, it'll be CH in patterns. So let's keep going. Yarn over, which is just pull your yarn over your hook and pull it through. Yarn over, pull it through. Yarn over, pull it through. Now I'm gonna do this a couple more times to make a swatch length chain. Now we have our chains, and what we want to do is we're going to flip it to the back, and you can see these little bumps on the back. These are really important to make sure that your chain doesn't twist, because if your chain twists, then it can lead to your whole project twisting, which doesn't look great. What you can do is you can chain an extra one and then go into the second stitch from the hook. So this would be the first stitch. This is the second stitch. So you'd want to go into that stitch. Now, I don't like doing this, and you can see I just slip right into that middle part, And once again, this is to ensure that your project doesn't twist. And then yarn over, pull through. Now you have 2 loops on your hook. And this is to make a single stitch. Then you yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Now let's try that again. Yarn over. Oops, no. Now let's try that again. We're gonna go through the little loop, pull a yarn over through, and then pull through 2 loops. Okay, let's try that one more time. You see this bump? I'm gonna stick your crochet hook through it, put the yarn over the hook and pull through. Then take yarn over like this. Then twist your hook and pull through both loops. Okay, now I'm gonna keep on doing this until I get to the end of the chain row. And I've reached the last stitch. So we're just gonna do a normal single crochet. So find that middle piece, push your hook through, and also another helpful way to get it is to pull it like this, use it as a hook, not as a shovel, and then use it as a shovel. That's how I like to do it, so that the stitches can remain consistent, but also it's a little bit easier on me. And then yarn over, pull through 2. So here's our row of single crochets, which in US terms will be SC in patterns. And what you're going to want to do next is you're going to want to flip your work like this. Now let's learn how to do a slip stitch. You're going to take your working yarn, you're going to put it through, okay, see these V's? You're going to put it through, so 1 V is a stitch. And what we're going to want to do is put the hook through the in between the stitches. Now some patterns will call you to chain 1 and then do your stitches, but I prefer not to because it makes it look a little bit bumpy. Now, here's how you do a slip stitch. Take your hook, you put it through the in between the 2 stitches. You see these little holes? That's where you want to go. You take your hook, you yarn over, and you pull through both loops. That's a slip stitch. So, put it through the hole, put it in between the 2 V's, take a piece of yarn, yarn over, and pull through 2. Let's try that again. Push it in between the hole, yarn over, and pull it through. In between the hole, yarn over, pull through. Slip stitch will be SL in US terms. So now we've come to our end stitch, and we're just going to do the same thing. There we go. And now you can see, so this first row right here, that is the chain. This second row right here is the single crochet or SC, and this top row is the slip stitch, and you can see that there is a difference in how thick and tall the stitches are. Now as we go up from half double crochet to treble crochet, we will find out that they just get taller and taller. So then again, flip your work, and once again you can chain an extra, which is just yarn over and pull through like that, but I don't like to do that. Now let's do a half double crochet. We're still going to be working in between these V's. It's a little bit harder to see with a slip stitch, but it is there. You just kind of have to push your way through. So the first step of a half double crochet is different. You're going to yarn over first. I like to push down the yarn with my finger so that I can keep control of it as I go into the hole. Then I'm going to take a piece, I'm going to yarn over. So now I have three loops on the hook. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3. Yarn over, go into the hole, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 3, yarn over, go into the hole, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3. And you can see the difference between the single crochet and the half double crochet. It's a lot taller. Now we're going to keep on doing that until we get to the end of the row. Now you can kind of see that my yarn is getting a little bit wavy. Now this means that my tension is inconsistent, which is how tight you're holding the yarn and putting the yarn into each of the loops. So what you want to avoid doing is pulling while you go, and what you want to do is keep a finger. So some people hold it like this, some people hold it like this. I hold it like this to try and keep my tension consistent, but it can definitely hurt your fingers. And it's very important to remember that you need to take breaks frequently and also stretch and relax your wrists before you go about crocheting, which is very important. So we're on the last stitch, so I'm just gonna yarn over, insert, pull up 1, and pull through 3. Pull through 3. Now half double crochet in US terms is going to be HDC. Now we're going to flip our work again, and we're going to do a very similar thing, but this is double crochet. I'm going to yarn over, put into the hole, yarn over, pull through 2, and sometimes if your hook gets stuck, you just want to finagle with it. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over, into the hole, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, put it through the hole, yarn over. You should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now I'm going to keep on doing this until I get down to my row. Okay, so I'm on my last stitch, so yarn over, put it through the stitch, put it through the hole, yarn over, pull through 1. I have 3 loops on my hook, pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through 2. The double crochet in US terms is DC on patterns. But now we're going to move on to the treble crochet, which is TC, and is the largest basic stitch. So you're going to flip your work like I already did, then you're going to yarn over and yarn over again and put it through the hole. Take a piece of yarn, yarn over. You should have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on your hook. Then you're going to pull through 2. So now you have 3 on your hook. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through 2. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through the last 2. So let's try that again. Yarn over again. Put in the hole. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And as you can see, this stitch is very big, but it also leaves a lot of holes. Yarn over, go through the hole, pull a yarn over through, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, put through the hole, yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And now we're just going to keep on doing this until we get to the end of the row. Now we're at our last stitch, so we yarned over twice, and now we put it in the hole, and now we put it in the hole, we yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Okay, now we have our swatch of chains, which is CH, single crochet, SC, slip stitch, SL, double crochet, half double crochet, HDC, double crochet, DC, and treble crochet, TC. So now we need to get scissors. So now we're going to take the end of our yarn, the working yarn, and cut it. Then what we do is we pull through. Sorry about the noise. And what I like to do is I like to tie it. So I'm gonna wrap it around my finger once, pull it off my finger, so like that. So it makes a circle. Put a string through it, grab the string, pull it through, and then tighten it while keeping my finger and thumb on the end, above the knot, so that it stays close to the body of stitches. Then what's really important, and what a lot of people like to do, is weave in the ends. So you're gonna take your hook and you're gonna pull it through one of the holes. Then you're gonna put your hook through the hole, take the yarn, and pull it through. Then you're gonna do that process over and over until most of the yarn is gone. I like to pull this in and then cut off the end as close as I possibly can get to the knot. Now you can do the same thing for your other end that we had at the beginning, so feel free to do that. But I'm going to keep it on to show you guys what a yarn under is. This is really helpful for keeping things very compact, and while it makes it a lot smaller, it definitely helps with amigurumi and other projects where you want very closed stitches. So now I have this loop, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick my hook through the yarn, and instead of going over like that, you go under and grab the yarn like that, pull it through, and then you yarn over and pull it through. So let's try that again. Push it into the stitch, grab it like this, putting your hook on top, pull it through, then yarn over. And feel free to rewatch that as many times as you need. So there is some basic stitches that you can use to start crocheting. A couple important things to note is that you always want to keep your yarn under and yarn over consistent, because if you don't, then it'll look very wonky as you continue on the project, unless you're trying to do a row by row thing. It is totally up to you to decide whether or not you want to use yarn over or yarn under. But either way, it's very important to keep in mind that you have to keep the yarn overs and yarn unders consistent. So that's the end of the video, and I hope it helped you a lot. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the comments down below, and feel free to give this video a thumbs up. I will be doing a lot of crochet, animation, lifestyle, and just general, like a conglomerate of content. A content conglomerate. A conglomerate. Yeah.